Hello everyone, welcome to my Max channel. Today I would like to discuss the part 3 for the paper 1 for trial exam Max Johor 2020. So I will discuss question 31 to 40 to complete the whole set of paper 1 for the trial exam mathematics. So I really hope that my sharing do help you to excel in mathematics. Have fun! Question 31. Diagram 14 shows an ogive of a group of students with. So total students is 60. Half of the 60 is 30. Median is actually 50% of the sample, which is 60. Okay, 50%, that means 1 over 2 times 60. So 30 student is having weight. Okay, so the difference between the two box is actually 5. How to get 5? 34.5 minus 29. So that means one box is 2.5 for the scale. Alright, so that means 39.5 have to plus 2.5 to get the median, which is equivalent to 42. So the median is correct, 42. So A is correct. So we actually want the false answer. So median wage of the student is 42. That is the right one, is a true statement. So let's see model class. Okay, so we have to convert the lower and upper boundary to become class interval. So let's start with the upper limit. So I will take 34. So I will take 34.5 minus out 0.5. Okay, by minus the 0.5, you get 34, 39, 44, and then continue until the last one is 59. And then we will fill up the lower limit, 35, followed by 40 and 45, 50 and 55. Alright, so the first one should be 35 minus 5, 30, right? Okay, understand? That is how you convert the lower limit and upper limit into class interval. So now we will have to fill up the frequency. From the cumulative frequency, we'll read out the frequency. So let's read the point. So beginning is actually 0, followed by 5, right? Okay, so we will just fill in like this. So 5, 30 to 34 is 5. Okay, then followed by 20 minus 5, right? Okay, 20 minus 5, you will get the difference of 15. Alright, so we will copy down 20 and we will minus out the 5. Okay, because we need to calculate the frequency from the cumulative frequency. Understand? Followed by, we will take the next one, which is the point is at okay, let's read the point carefully. It's at the point 40 and 20, right? So we'll take 40 minus out 20. Alright, so that is the third class interval. From 40 to 44, you have 20 students. And followed by, we'll take 55 minus 40. Okay, 55 minus 40 is actually the number of students whose weight between 45 to 49. So we have 15 students, right? We have 15 students there. Alright, then we proceed to the next class interval, which is from 50 to 54. So we have 58 minus 55, which is 3 students. And finally, we will take the last class interval, which is 60 minus 58. So the frequency, or in other words, the number of students okay, is 60 minus 58. Alright, so we have 2 students, right? Okay, we have settled the frequency table. Now let's study model class. Actually is the class interval with the highest frequency. So it seems like it's 40 to 44, right? So now I highlight to you the class with the highest frequency is so-called model class. So the model class is actually 40 to 44. So this is also the true statement. So we have to search for the false statement. Now the next one we need to find is we want to calculate the number of students in this group is, oh, this is very easy. Total sample space is 60, right? Alright, so this is quite easy. Total number of students is 60. So the answer given was wrong. So because the answer there is 238, so this is the answer that we need to highlight. Okay, so the answer which is false is C. So let's see for D. Number of students whose weight more than 44.5 kg. How to read this one? So for OGIF, we must know how to read. So now we need to understand how to read less than 44.5 and more than 44.5. So now you highlight 44.5. Alright, so you go to the horizontal axis and find out where is 44.5 kg. Alright, from there I want you to draw a dotted line, a vertical line, dotted line. Then the line actually should touch the OGIF. When the moment it touches the OGIF, you can read 40. Right, the 40 means that the number of students whose weight less than 44.5 is actually 40 students, less than, all right? Okay, less than or equal, all right? So if the question is saying more than 44.5, okay, it should be 60 minus out 40, right? So you get 20, so the D is correct. So that is how you understand how to get 20 students. It's actually you take the 60 minus out 20. Understand? Alright? So it doesn't mean that it's 40. It's actually more than. The words, the keywords more than is very important. Alright? If they say less than, okay, it's 40. But now it's more than. So be careful when you do mathematics because the words actually will determine the answer. So we need to highlight the important keywords whenever we do the mathematics. Like this one for D, the keywords is weight more than 44.5 kg is the keywords. Okay, without more than it will be different answer, right? So I'm sure when you do maths, you try to highlight, okay, the important keywords so that you won't make careless mistake. Now let's proceed to question 32. Given that the universal set is between 77 and 86, and then the set P is actually multiple of 4, alright? Okay, so your multiple of 4 must be from the universal set. Now let's list out the universal set. So we have 77 onwards, not inclusive of 77, right? So we have to start from 78, alright, 79. It's better for you to list out all, easy. Okay, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. And then for multiple of 4, it must be from the universal set, okay? You cannot list out 4, 8, no, because the universal set was given. So we have to find the one which is divisible by 4, okay? So for set P, we have 80, 84, just 2 only, right? We need to list out the elements in set Q, which is whole number divided by 5, but remainder is 2. Okay, so how to find this? So we have to divide by 5 one by one, and then we check the remainder. So 82 divided by 5 got 16, 2 over 5, that means the remainder is 2, right? Alright, so now we have P, we have set Q, so we can list down P union Q, right? So still remember how to do P union Q? P union Q is actually, when you do union, you must know that you must take in all the elements from set P and set Q, right? Okay, so now the P union Q must consist of 80, 82, and 84, right? There are three elements. So we will list now using the set notation. So from 80, 82, and 84, we'll list down like this. Okay, so now we need to find the P union Q, okay, complement. So as you know, P union Q is all elements in set P and set Q. So for you to find the complement of the P union Q, it means that the element in the universal set that not belongs to P union Q. That means you cannot take in 80, 82, and 84. Okay? So we always refer to the universal set. Alright? And then we will check all the elements we will take in except 80, 82, and 84. These are the three elements which is P union Q. So we cannot take into consideration. So we have to take in other than 80, 82, and 84. Alright? So now we will refer to universal set. Alright, so we will cancel out 80, 82, and 84. Alright, so that's why I say every time when you do the complement, you must list down all the elements in the universal set so that easier for you to list down, right? So you have the balance, you can list down 78, 79, 81, 83, and 85. So these are the actually the elements in the set of P union Q complement. Alright, understand? So answer will be 78, 79, 81, 83, and 85. You have 5 elements. Okay, so if you do like this, you actually can reduce a careless mistake. Alright, so now let's proceed to the next question. The diagram 15 is a Venn diagram with the universal set, set M, and set C, and set B. So let's study the diagram 15. So you have mathematics club member, M, C is a chess club member, and B is actually basketball club member. And you're given the number of the universal set, right? Alright, so number of universal set is 215, mathematics 85, and the chess club 70, and basketball 60. And the question say find the difference between the number of students who are not from any of the club with the number of the students from mathematics clubs only. Okay, there's a word only, so it's very important. So let's work out step by step. So now we are going to work out the students who are taking mathematics only. So we take total number of the mathematics, alright, which is 85 minus out 20. So the balance should be 65 taking mathematics only. So mathematics clubs are 65 only. So now we will actually do another one for number of the chess club. Okay, we are given the quantity for total number of chess club. So we can actually find the balance, right? Okay, so we will take the chess club total minus out the 20 and 25. We will get the balance for the remaining and then we will fill in the Venn diagram so that we can solve for the next step. Okay, so now we will take 70 minus 20 minus 25, so the balance will be 25. So we need to label on the diagram, on the Venn diagram, like this. Okay, so you label the 25. All right, so now we will find the number of students who actually are from basketball club only. Yes, okay. So we will take the total number of the basketball, which consists of how many? It was given in the question, right? All right, so we will take the total number of the basketball, which is 60. We will minus out 25. So the balance will be 35, right? Okay, so now we managed to find out all the part of the Venn diagram. Now, because the total number of students for the universal set was given, right? So we can actually find the total number of students who are actually not joining any of the club. All right, so then you will take the total of the universal set, which I highlighted in green color, minus out the one that I highlighted in blue color, which is actually the one that we worked out just now, right? So you take 215 minus 65 minus 20 minus 25 and minus 25 and minus 35. So the answer is 45. So that is the answer for the student who are not joining any of the club, which is 45. Okay, but the question say we need to find the difference between the number of students who are not joining any of the club with the number of the students who are taking mathematics clubs only. So mathematics clubs only, just now we got the answer already, right? 65. So we will take the answer uh, 65 minus 45, right? Because the question say we have to find the difference. So when you find the difference, you always take the biggest one minus the smaller one, because this is number of students. So we will take 65 minus out 45, and then we will get the answer for this question. Understand? So now the final working is you find the difference between 65 and 45, and then you will get the answer, which is actually equivalent to 20, right? Are you getting 20? You take 65 minus out 45, and then you will get the right answer. Okay, because the 45 is actually the number of students who are not joining any of the club. All right, so that is how you work out for the solving problem involving Venn diagram. That means you have to work out part by part. You have to work out you have to focus to the part that given the information, and you subtract the one from the number of the club student in the club. Okay, so finally you will get the answer if you work out carefully. All right, so now let's proceed to the next question. For this question, you have to find the point k first, okay, in order to solve the value of k. So basically we will use the same gradient when we see a straight line, right, with the 2 points. So let's find the gradient for the m to n, and then for the point k, we can write as k0 because the point is lies on the y-axis. So we can label like this, k comma 0, or maybe you can assign a point p, m and p for that point, so that we can write down for the gradient for the 3 point. Okay, so now we are going to work out the gradient for mn, and we are going to work out for gradient for np. and we'll make them the same because they are actually collinear. Do you know what is collinear? Meaning that the 3 points lies on a straight line with the same gradient. So now I'm going to find the gradient of NP and gradient of MN. Okay, the 3 points actually are lies on a straight line, so the gradient should be the same. So now for formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So let's write down the coordinates for the y. We start with a 0 for point P. So you can write as 0 minus 2, or you can write as 2 minus 0. So I'm going to take the 0 minus 2. Okay, so then k minus 8, right? Because when you take the 0 for the y first, so you must take the k first to minus the 8. Okay, the sequence must be correct. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright, so you will have to follow the formula for the gradient is k minus 8. So it's equal to the gradient of mn. So we are going to find the gradient for the mn. We will take the point n with the y coordinate 2 minus out the 5, right? Okay, so the y2 minus y1, so we will take 2 minus 5, and then for the x we will take 8 minus 2, right? Okay, so that is how you use a gradient formula correctly. Follow the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, after you substitute the x2 minus x1, which is 8 minus 2, then you simplify and you will get the answer for the k. So be careful when you solve because it's actually involving negative. So you have negative 2 over k minus 8 is equal to negative 3 over 6, which is negative 1 over 2 if you simplify. So finally, you have to cross multiply carefully to get the A. So negative 2 times 2 is equal to negative 1 times k minus 8, right? Finally, you have negative 4 is equal to negative k plus 8. Alright, so then your k will be a positive value, which is 12. Obviously, it is positive because the k is to the right of the original point O, right? So you have to make sure you get a positive answer. If you're getting the negative answer, you have to double check because there might be careless mistake, right? So the k should be 12. Okay, understand? So you use a concept of the gradient are the same when you have 3 points lies on the straight line. So the k is 12. Alright, so we have solved this question for finding the value of k. Let's proceed to the next question, question 35. This question is asking which graph is parallel to y equal to 2x minus 8. That means you are given the gradient is equal to 2, right? Y equal to 2x minus 8. That means the gradient is 2 and the y-intercept is negative 8. And the gradient is positive. So if you look at the graph, the positive, the line should be actually heading upward, right? Upward. So it seems like the B and D are having downward. So I guess B and D will be rejected. So, and you look at the intercept negative 8. So obviously the answer is A, right? It's quite simple, right? So when you have the y equal to mx plus c, the m there is a gradient, meaning that the m is equal to 2 and the c is a y-intercept. Alright, so you just focus to these two you will get the answer easily, right? So the answer can be obtained easily by observing the gradient. 2 is positive, right? So when it is positive, the line will be heading upward, okay? So gradient positive should be belongs to graph A and graph C, right? And graph B and graph D are having gradient which are negative. So B and D are wrong because the gradient are negative because the line is downward slanting to the left, okay? When the line slanting to the left is having a negative gradient, or we can say the line is downward. So these two answer B and D we have to reject because of the negative gradient. And then because A and C are having the same gradient which are positive, so now you need to focus to the negative 8. So which one is having the y-intercept negative 8? Obviously the answer is A, right? Because the last number, the constant there is actually representing y-intercept. Clear? So this question is very easy. You should actually score full marks for this one. Alright, so we will choose the one with the y-intercept, which is negative 8. So hence the answer should be A, right? Okay. So finally, we solve question 35. The answer for 35 is A, just gradient and y-intercept. It's very simple. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question, which is question 36. So this question is about the probability. Let's read the question. Table 4 shows the number of students who attend a mathematics program. Also, you're given the gender, boys and girls, and the class. So a student is selected at random from the program. Find the probability that girl from 5T2 is selected. Girl, okay, we have 9. And total sample space, you just add up all. So the answer is quite easy. So you simplify, you got 3 over 23. Question 37, a box contains 48 cups. There are blue cups and white cups. A cup is chosen at random from the box. The probability that the blue cup is chosen is 1 over 6. How many blue cups need to be added to the box? So that probability that a blue cup is chosen is 1 over 2. So now based on the original probability value for the blue, so we actually just find the number of blue for originally. So B over total sample is 48 is equal to 1 over 6. Then originally we have how many blue cup in the sample space. So we found out we have 1 over 6 times 48, which is 8 cups originally. Now we need to plus how many cup? How many? So we use X. So that the number of the blue cup over the sample space will give you the probability 1 over 2. So we will take X as a number of the blue cups added to the box. So X plus 8, okay, over the sample space, be careful. The sample space also you need to plus with the X. Then only you equate to 1 over 2, right? Okay, because you added in X number of blue cup, so the sample space also increase. So you must take 48 plus the X, alright, and then you cross multiply and you solve the X. That will be the answer for this question, right? So X is equivalent to 32, right? So that is the final answer for the question 37. This question is about the variation. So Form 4 students will learn this in Form 5 next year. So for variation, we always equal to a constant when we make into equation, right? And we'll substitute all the constant given, and we'll find out the answer for the constant first. And then we'll use back the constant to form the equation before we substitute the values inside to find the P. So we need to solve it carefully, alright? So you can also press your calculator. So P is 16, right? Okay, now we proceed to another one, which is about the rate of interest is fixed. The amount of interest earned varies directly as the amount of principal invested and the duration the principal is invested. So we have to write out the variation, then we convert to equation. After that, we have to substitute, okay, all the values inside to find the K. So K is equivalent to 0.0025. Then you substitute into the equation I equal to 0.0025 PD, and you substitute all the information given and solve the answer. So it's quite easy. It's just that you need to be more careful when you solve. So the P is 10,000, right? Okay, so double check your answer. Before we proceed to the last question, is about the matrix. Okay, for matrix, it's very simple. You just highlight like this. H minus 2 times 4 equal to negative 12. And you solve the H. H will be negative 4. And you form another equation, 1 minus 2 times negative 1 equal to K. So K is equal to 3. So for matrix, you need to be very careful. So that's all, my dear students. That's all my sharing for today. I do hope that my sharing do help you to improve your maths and excel in mathematics. And I pray that you will get A+ in your coming SPM exam. So till then, I shall see you in my next video lesson. Bye bye and have a nice day.